In this episode, we explore the dynamic world of hiring from both the employer and employee perspectives. We dive into essential tips for optimizing the hiring process to ensure a successful match for both parties involved. Listen in for more. Before we get into this episode, we would like to thank our Season 4 sponsor, Affirm Investigative Solutions, your go-to litigation support company. Without them, we would not be able to keep upgrading and integrating new concepts to this growing podcast. If you would like to take your support further, feel free to hit the support button on our Let's Talk Paralegal website so we can continue providing quality and empowering content for you and all our listeners.
Hey guys, it's your girl Etta, and welcome to the Let's Talk Paralegal podcast. Today we're going to be talking about hiring hacks for both the employees and the employers. The reason why I focus on both of you is because I feel like if you learn from the other person, it'll help you as well to prepare. So knowing about each other, I'm all about streamlining processes, right? That's what we do at Etta Rosa LLC. So we like to make sure that the people are not only trained in their specific descriptions and their specific tasks and responsibilities, but we definitely want to make sure that they understand the entire process, and that way they'll be better at their job, they'll be more efficient and effective and all the good things. So today we're going to focus on first the hacks for the employers. So listen up, both employers and employees, and even if you are a freelancer or contractor, all these tips are going to help you, especially when you're looking to grow your team, and either on a contract basis like we do at Etta Rosa LLC, or W-2 employees where you want them full-time with you. So understanding these little intricacies at all different levels is really going to help you prepare for onboarding, offboarding, growing, whatever it is, maneuvering, new opportunities, creating opportunities, anything that you're looking to do with your legal career or legal business. It's definitely going to help you, just create like a roadmap in order to really enhance that missing piece. So the first one we're going to go over for the employers is a clear job description. I get this all the time from people that are applying, from candidates that are frustrated because they keep uploading and they don't receive not even a no or a yes or anything. So a clear job description is really going to help literally clear the air, right? Quite literally. So we want to clearly outline the responsibilities and the expectations of the role in this job description. We want to specify the required skills and qualifications to attract those suitable candidates. Now, how do we do that, right? I can easily tell you this is what you need to do, but how do you actually implement this and put this into fruition? Very easy. You analyze what the needs are, what your current needs are, what this ideal candidate would look like. It's kind of like your avatar for a client, right? It's kind of your ideal client. What is your ideal candidate? What do they look like? What do they do? What are their off-hour hobbies? You want to make sure that you understand what your actual company needs and what you are hiring for. Create a roadmap, a day-to-day. What is this person's day-to-day tasks going to look like? What are those actual realistic hours? Is it truly a 9 to 5, or am I really needing another person for this specific tasks, responsibility, and position? Focus really on that, and that will help you create that description that you need, and it will help you attract the candidates that you're looking for because you actually know what you're looking for. A lot of us assume that because all these tasks are pending that one person can do it. Well, is that really realistic? Are we really doing our research and understanding that this may not be a real realistic expectation that we're creating? I understand that budget comes into it, and I understand that sometimes we're just in a bind, and we just need to, relieve that bottleneck. But if you're looking for your business to grow and you're looking for your company to expand and your brands and all the things, you kind of need to start from square one, right? And focus in on that. So that is really going to be able to create that first pillar for you. The hack 2 is streamline recruitment process. And this, oh man, I feel like This one's probably the most important when it comes to, hiring someone. It's creating an efficient and transparent, right, recruitment process to keep the candidates engaged. Again, I'll repeat myself over and over throughout this episode. You need to focus on treating people like people, because that is a direct reflection on your company and your company culture, which is another one that we're going to go through later on in this episode. But creating that constant thank you for applying, even if it's just an automated email. We received your resume. We are reviewing your resume. We will get back to you. But please do get back to them. A lot of people are complaining that they're not receiving not even a yes or a no or a maybe, or that they even received it. Like, you have to create that culture, because again, the way that people view you as a hiring in a company, that reflects, right? That's going to reflect on you as a company and as your growth and as everything goes through. And this minimizes the unnecessary steps, right? To avoid losing that top talent due to that lengthy process. Don't make it difficult to apply. I understand that you're trying to weed out all the candidates and that you're getting thousands and thousands of resumes, and that's wonderful. But in order to find a really great candidate, and in order to really weed that out, is the reason it's not to be robust. You need to make it simple, and not simple to the point where it's just uploading a resume, the algorithm reads keywords and then spits out some possibilities. No. You want to create a process where you actually attract the candidate that you want, right? This is just like a marketing tool. It's definitely just like you market your business, you want to market your jobs. So understanding what that is, who that looks like, you will get your candidate. The next hack is effective communication. Again, right, this goes through the streamlining recruitment process. This goes through the, job description. All it boils down to is communication, being clear, concise, and being transparent of what the actual job is, what the needs are for this company, and how that will continue to move forward. You need to show growth. Hey, this is not a stopping point. You can definitely grow with our company. This is how. We have more opportunities. That is what candidates want to see. But having that communication at the forefront will really help you in growing and assisting you in providing that candidate assurance, right? Because that's really what they're looking for. They're looking for a future. They're not just looking for a job. And this is the new employee mindset, and we need to just get on board with it, right? People are not looking for a job. They're not looking to just pay the bills. They're looking for an experience. If they're going to invest 90% of their time to this company better be worth it. And that's, unfortunately, that is the true reality. And that is something that you guys are just going to need to get on board with. The next hack is going to be company culture. Leads me straight right into what I was just talking about. Cultivating your employees, providing that experience, because they are no longer looking for a 9-to-5 pay my bills. They can get that anywhere. They can get 4 or 5 jobs to pay the bills. It's not about that anymore. It's about, what am I investing my time in, and whom am I investing that time to? So if you're not providing the full experience, if you're requiring a CLE certified, right, a continuing legal education certificate where you know that that's an extra cost, you better be providing something in return for that. You better be providing extra PTO days so that they can attend these conferences and attend these classes and courses that they need in order to actually continue with their certification. Or pay for it or send them off. Whatever the case may be, you better be providing something in return. If it's required, you better be providing something in return. That's just how it is. This is not like, oh, well, I want you to have all these certifications, but I'm not going to do anything about it. No, that's not how that works, right? If you want this, and you want the licensing, and you want the education that you yourself did not pay for because they're paying for it themselves, then you better be offering something in return, because they worked hard for that certification. They continue to work hard for that certification. So you better be reciprocating if it's a requirement. That's just the truth. I'm going to be blunt and honest with you. That is what's happening. Now, let's say you finally find your ideal candidate and you're very enthusiastic about this potential collaboration partnership, right? Your employee onboarding must be as clear and concise as everything else before. If you're going to do an engagement letter, if you're going to do a welcome kit, whatever the case may be, the same thing you treat your clients, you should be treating your employees. Understanding that congratulations, you have made it to the team, having those clear and concise conversations with them throughout their employment. Onboarding is essential. Give them all the expectations ahead of time at the interview process, on the onboarding process. You have to make it clear. It has to be a well-structured and it has to integrate smoothly with the company culture, because that is what the employee is looking for. What is this company really about? What is this position really about? We all know that the description is just a baseline. There's going to be other factors. Is it worth my time? That's what they're thinking. Is it worth my time? Is it worth the money? Is it worth my personal investment? That's what they're thinking. That's what you know. Make sure that onboarding process is clear and concise. You want to make it happen. You got to make it happen. There's just no other way around it. If you want an actual true candidate that's going to help you build your dream and is going to stay with you and be that ambitious, motivated employee, you must create that. You must create that environment for them. All right. So now we're going to move on to the employee section, or the person going to work with, right? The first one is research the company. Just like they are doing their research on filling in their environment and doing their culture and all the things that I just let them know that they needed to do, I want you to do the same thing. I want you to research the company. What are they about? Who are they investing in? What community do they serve? Is that aligned with what I'm trying to do, with what I'm trying to focus on, what I'm trying to grow? Understanding, does that fit your model? Right? Because if you're going in this blindly, it's going to be a disaster. You have to do your research. You have to make sure that this is a company that you want to invest your time in and that they are in the rooms that you want to be in. That's what you need to do. The next one is tailor your resume. I can't stress this enough. There's no such thing as one size fits all. Absolutely not. Every description is different, and you must tailor that to that description. If they're focusing on a caseload manager, you need to tailor your skills and your resume to focus on a caseload manager. If you're looking for a paralegal litigation, which in essence is the same thing, but the skills are highlighted a little differently. So you need to tailor your resume to that to make sure that it's maneuvered and that it's morphed into that job description so that it's clear to them that this is not just a generalization. You have the skills to succeed in this position. So tailor your resume. The same resume should not be submitted in multiple places unless it's for the same exact job description and job position, okay? Another hack that I want to go over is preparing for these interviews. Again, goes back to the whole do your research, tailor your resume, do everything. Come prepared with your notes. Come prepared with an outline of a discussion. This will show them that, one, you did your research, that you are invested in this company already and you're not even hired. Two, you know your stuff. So really review that job description again. You know it's going to be focused on that. You know the other outlines and the other things that are going to happen throughout that information. So focus in on that. Prepare yourself for your interviews. This will also reduce the nerves. I understand that sometimes this can feel like an interrogation process. Understand that it's a two-way street, okay? So you need to come just as prepared. Think of an interview as a meeting. This is a meeting. We're going to meet and we're going to see if our minds are going to meet as well, okay? So just mindset shift. Come with questions. At the end of the interview, a good interviewer or a good manager will say, do you have any questions? You always have questions, okay? Always. Whether it's about the pay, whether it's about benefits, whether it's about a hybrid model, whether it's about a virtual model, remote, whatever the case may be, you have questions. Create them, bring them, ask them, because this will help you with the expectations, right? You want to make sure that your expectations are met and that their expectations are met and that you can meet those expectations. If they're looking for someone to work overtime, you need to know that now. Is that something available to you? Are you a parent? Are you studying? Are you doing something? Be clear and concise, guys. This is all about communication. It's all about expectation. The number one reason why people walk away or get off-boarded by companies is because the expectations were not met, but they were not spoken about. So nobody's going to read your mind. No one. Nobody knows who you are. They can do all the research in the world, but they're not going to know what the underlying factors are. And that goes for both parties. Ask questions. Don't be afraid. My last one for the employees is negotiate wisely. When it comes time to pay, you already know what your monthly bills are. You already know what your responsibilities are. You already know all of it, right? If you're a good budgeter, if you are used to, living paycheck to paycheck, you kind of have a realistic expectation of your monthly budget. So double that. What is your monthly budget, and then how much more is that? Because as a either 9-to-5er or especially as a business owner, we always think about the overhead cost. If it's required for you to drive to and from the location, you got to take that into consideration. Traffic time, your time, how long is that? Is that 30 minutes? Is that 1 hour? Okay, well, if the hourly rate is $25, that's $50 that I'm losing if it's a 30-minute commute or whatever the case may be. Okay? Understand that. Negotiate wisely. If it's remote, are you going to be providing me with the tools? Are you going to provide me with a laptop, or am I going to need to use my own stuff? Because if that's the case, then you need to compensate me for that, because you're not even investing in my tools. All these things, you have to communicate wisely. That's just the way it is. So as a recap, I'm going to give it to you in one sentence. Communication, expectation, and research. You got to do those three things, whether you're an employer, an employee, whether you are a contractor, a business owner, entrepreneur, whatever the case may be. You must research, you must focus on your expectations, and you must communicate those expectations. Both parties, all parties, but however many parties, you have to focus on that, and you have to be realistic about it, because unfortunately, that is just the truth. That's what's going to lead to burnout, anxiety, stress, because the expectations were not met, but they specifically were not spoken about for both parties. So asking those questions, triggering that curiosity, is really going to help you with the hiring process, whatever side you're on. So don't forget to subscribe and follow us on YouTube and LinkedIn and all the other social media outlets that we have out there. I hope this was useful. And of course, until justice is served, I'll be here. Bye, guys.